agent, owning half of Sony.
If I just sell 3 million copies, I got $30 million. Now who has the biggest record deal?
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. Okay.
Right? So Mariah kind of got screwed.
Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Biggie, Tupac. If the publishing, if the marketing, if the promotion, if the recording is not controlled by black people, that has to change. We own our own music.
My hope and prayer is that after watching this video you will get to understand why things are the way they are, the need for us to get involved and eliminate this evilness, and also get a different perspective on Kanye West because some of you are judging him blindly without understanding the context of his words and actions.
It's time for us to innovate. And we need to have contracts that make sense with exactly how we sell music. So record labels are afraid of saying, okay, we're going to hand over the distribution completely to you guys. You know, as I'm going and saying, I need to innovate what these contracts are, not just for me, but for all artists. It's not about me getting my masters back. It's about freedom.
Just like Revelation isn't the first book in the Bible, Kanye isn't the first person either to say all the things that I talk about on my channel. You don't understand him, which is why you keep calling him crazy and allowing the Matrix to confuse, abuse, and use you as well as our brothers and sisters in these evil industries. Kanye has never claimed to be the first person to notice what's happening in the music industry, or, let me say, Hollywood. All he's trying to do is open our eyes and let us know that the evilness that legends like Michael Jackson, Prince, Tupac, and many others talked about still exists, but in a colorless form so we don't see it. Secondly, Kanye wants us to understand God's will. Last but not least, he's trying to remind us that God has a plan, so we shouldn't leave his sight. We have seen top celebrities taken down, some get killed, some go crazy, and others just disappear for a while, like Dave Chappelle. All this has been happening before our eyes, and we think it's normal. Even though many people have come out to speak about what's really happening to our brothers and sisters, we still sit back and watch them step on landmines and get taken away. Of late, we have seen young rappers go to the grave at the speed of light. These young people keep getting killed, and the media keeps reporting what they want us to hear because they know we are foolish enough to believe. Let me tell you this, everything that has been happening is because of ownership. Please understand this.
When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up.
For every death, for every person labeled crazy, and for every soul going missing, there are giants behind it benefiting millions and millions of dollars. Let's look at Michael Jackson. Isn't it strange that he died not long after getting 50% of Sonny? I mean, he himself clearly stated that Tony Mottola was a devil. Not only that, but LaToya confirmed that her brother, Michael, was afraid that they would try to kill him. Then Michael dies from acute propofol intoxication.
It was definitely something that was premeditated, that they had planned to do, and they planned to take my brother out, and my brother knew it, and that's why he told me repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly that this was going to happen to him. He explained it to me. He explained it's because of my catalog, which is my publishing, and they're after it, and they want it, and they want their hands on it, and they want to take it away from me.
My boy was just 50 when he was ruthlessly taken away from this cruel planet Earth, while owning half of Sonny. Guess what? The shares Michael owned were bought back after he died. So crazy. Prince is another name that made billions and billions of dollars for these monsters, but he had to go because he talked too much. This brother was fearless, and he spoke his mind freely and impressively. He never cared about what would happen to him. He cared more about what would happen if he kept his mouth shut.
The reason why it became such a big deal back then is ever since my third album, I wasn't really taking large advances from the recording companies. I was recording the albums myself in my own studio. So the way I looked at it, I owned the work because I paid for it. And I did all the work. I created it, so I felt like it should belong to me. That said, the companies felt otherwise. And they would always hold this contract up and say, well, you signed it. And I say, well, I understand that. It's not like I want to leave. I just want to, talk about this thing and see if we can't make it more fair. Of course, they wouldn't change because if they changed, they wouldn't really exist. And that's kind of the situation we're in right today.
He knew he was the voice the people needed, so he let God's will prevail. All this sweet brother wanted was the best for his people. I mean, we are the asset, we make music, so it's just fair that we should be owning the masters. Because this brother didn't just speak for himself, he also used his tongue to help others. They decided it was time for him to see the maker. They said he died from a fentanyl overdose. What a joke indeed. As I previously stated, we have lost many young rappers recently, but do you know who is not dying? Watch this.
The truth is this, a bunch of young black male rappers keep dying. You know who's not dying? Record executives. You've been used for a long time, They create this paradigm to make you believe that you're so important and your celebrity status is worth so much, but in truth, you're a pawn in their game and you always have been.
Many of these young people come from broken homes. They don't know how it feels to have both parents in the same house. Some have never seen their parents. Music becomes their parents as well as their everything. When they see a breakthrough, the least thing they care about is the context of the contracts. These people come to them with big smiles and behave like they care for them. Young rappers have no chance to know the horror awaiting them in the future. Therefore, they sign these contracts without understanding a thing.
If, say, tomorrow, Ja got shot down, how will Mom benefit? All the stuff that you have done, all the stuff that you have in the can, it'll come out, it'll sell, but somebody will be making money off of your untimely death.
This is the case for most artists. When Kanye West talks about these things, we need to be paying attention. A lot of others have tried to do so, but we ignored them. Kanye once said, when you sign a music deal, you sign away your rights. Without the masters, you can't do anything with your music. Someone else controls where and when it is played. Artists have nothing except fame, touring, and merch, which all in turn increase the value of your music, benefiting the other man. You may ask, why do I love and follow Kanye? Well, because he's walking the talk.
A lot of people speaking on that too, like, it was like, oh, he left good music or whatever the case may be. Like, that's not the case. What that was basically Kanye forfeiting all of his profits from my whole catalog, back catalog to now, to me.
This man is genuine, caring, and fearless. I know he's not perfect, but he's trying his level best to rescue us from these vultures. For those who don't understand what Kanye is trying to say, he's saying artists should own their masters. But then, what does it mean to own your masters? A master recording is the original recording of a song, which makes it the most authentic supersonic account of the song. As an artist, owning your master recordings gives you the legal rights to freely appropriate and maximize your opportunities to make money. It gives you full control over your music. With a master recording, you can license the recording to third parties. They have the right to license out the recording and collect all royalties if someone else owns your masters. This is exactly what Kanye has been talking about of late. As I have said, a lot of artists don't realize that signing away their masters means selling the rights to their own work. So we need to get this message out there so that young boys can get educated and those innocent young ladies can get their rightful share. Enough is enough. We need to start owning our masters because we created them. Let us not allow souls like MJ, Prince, and others to just go away in vain. They did their best to try to open our eyes, but we never paid attention. Now that we have many voices and many people coming out to talk about these issues, let's take full advantage and educate ourselves. For the young artists, please don't sign any papers you don't understand. Own your masters, please.